Now on YouTube, it's time for some alternative commentary action with the Commentary Hub.
There's headed by Marina, and it's 2-1 to Arsenal.
Look at that pass! Goal for Manchester City!
Takes this corner, whips it in, it's headed and it's a goal, and it's that man, Gabriel.
Liverpool have equalised. Lovely improvisational touch from Curtis Jones.
Oh, what a goal! Wow, take it out!
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome along to the Commentary Hub's coverage of Newcastle United against Liverpool from the first round of the Premier League. Of course, we're going to have your match commentary team, which consists of Russ Vernon in the commentary team. We'll go to him shortly regarding some team news, but before that, of course, as I'm sure you're all aware of, the late Kevin Keegan passed away on the 20th of July, just last month. Of course, a fantastic player for many clubs, but he also was a manager for both of these sides. And he was also a manager of Newcastle, but he was involved in both of these sides, Newcastle and Liverpool, as well as England as well. And before kick-off, we will be having a minute's applause or a minute's silence. Not quite sure which one it's going to be as of yet, in memory of him. But the fans are just holding up some banners in front of us here as well regarding Kevin Keegan, just saying a bit about his career, and that he was, of course, from 1951 to 2006, I believe it was, when he passed away last year. But of course, Kevin Keegan himself was diagnosed with stage 4 cancer, and that was the reason as to why Kevin Keegan passed away after a 7-week battle. And of course, he was a fantastic player and manager, as mentioned, in a career that spied across Scunthorpe, Liverpool, Hamburg, Southampton and Newcastle. And he later went on to manage Newcastle, Fulham, England and Manchester City as well. And when he passed away, he was surrounded by his friends and by his family, and passed away peacefully. But we'll just get that information in a minute. I think the team's just coming up now, so we'll find out whether that's going to be a minute's silence or a minute's applause for Kevin Keegan. Just I think there's going to be we get some slight technical issues there as well. I'm not too sure what that is, but hopefully everyone can hear me all right. I'm not too sure as to why that might be, if there's any slight issues. The two teams are just shaking hands with each other and with the officials now. But in fact, we'll come to Russ briefly, because we're going to go through the two lineups. So, Russ, do you want to run us through the two lineups briefly before we get this minute's applause or minute's silence for Kevin Keegan?
Yes, mate. Good evening, everybody. Good afternoon, good morning, and welcome along to the commentary coverage of Newcastle United against Liverpool. Here is our two sides lineup today. Starting with Newcastle United, managed by Matthias Leisler, who replaced Eddie Howe. In goals, Lucas Olacek. He's a back four men of Derek, Owen, Tower, the captain was all. Stoyer and Malin in the field with Amanda and Barnes. Even said the young Visser was in the number 10. Yeah. And Will Asula. As for Liverpool then, managed by Antonio Iraola. And this is how Liverpool will line up today. Alisson starts between the sticks. It's Frimpong, Jackie, Van Dijk, and Kirk is across the back. It is Gravenberch and Szoboszlai in front of those. And it's Muriel Gamala. Florian Wirtz has got a gap behind Alexander Isak. He looks up. Bench is Charlotte, Amber, Toure, Murphy, Young, the goalkeeper. Volmada, Willard, Ramsey, and Charlotte. For Liverpool, the bench for them end up McAllister, Simicats, Munoz, Amleshwari, Ujo, Leone, McDonald, and Commercial. Referee struck Albell, just by Constantine Akis. On the bench, Tony Ellington, the fourth official, VAR, James Bell, and Eddie Smart as the players just gather around the centre circle to remember the late great Kevin Keegan today. And we will get ready to do that ourselves in a moment. As the two players get ready to remember the late great Kevin Keegan very shortly in what is a sad tribute that we lost the great of English football. We'll just take a moment right now.
Okay, so we will be getting underway. We just hopefully have Russ with us now. We're having some technical issues, so hopefully these issues will be resolved. Are you there now, Russ? Are you back with us? Okay, so we're still waiting for Russ to resolve these issues. Currently, we're 40 seconds in, and it's Newcastle in possession at the moment in time with a free kick. This has been whipped into the area and headed on to goalkeeper Allison. Hopefully, we'll have Russ back with us in a minute, but early stages, it's Newcastle 0, Liverpool 0. Liverpool's in possession right now. Could get the ball moving forward, but in fact it's just in the centre of the park. With that was supposed to lie. But hopefully Russ is back with us now. Are you there, Russ? Can you hear us now?
I can hear you loud and clear, Mike. Yes, I'm back now, my friend. Can you hear me?
Okay, we've got you. We can hear you okay as well now, I believe.
Yes, so here we go then, as we're just over the halfway line for Liverpool over on that far side. It's got the gap charging forward. Edge of the penalty to Florian Wirtz with the strike, which is blocked, and Newcastle will look to come away with Harvey Barnes down there left hand side, and it's played forward. It goes there looking for Will Asula, and it goes out of play for throw-in is Newcastle United against Liverpool. As you can see on the screen there, some head-to-head stats there for the 4 wins for Newcastle, 8-6 wins for Liverpool there. Liverpool with the slight with a better win percentage as well. And there is the XG there, Liverpool 1.58 to 1.43 just there. And you can see the average goals scored as well. Now there's the two goalkeepers with Onachek slightly better with the goals against average to Alisson. Alisson more clean sheets compared to Onachek. And he's a lot older as well. And a lot more clean sheets for the Liverpool goalkeeper. As well as Liverpool will look to come forward here now. Johan Visser has just found Brandon Birch on the edge of just inside the Newcastle off, and they go backwards here now. Very good afternoon to everybody who is with us here this afternoon as we watch Matthias Scheissler, 5 major trophies and 5 full seasons for the Newcastle head coach, who replaced Eddie Howe. A lot of fans weren't happy that he had replaced Eddie Howe. They wanted Howe to stay in charge at St James's Pub. He was not going to be the offering that the owners did want, as Howe did leave the role. And Newcastle will come forward now, ball over the top from Bondman. It's picked up by Virgil van Dijk as Willis will try to chase it. Here's Jeremy Jacquet, who will look to cause a number of problems this afternoon. If you're all just tuning into us for the first time today and you've not listened to us before, thank you very much for doing so. We are the Commentary Up, the home of alternative commentaries, and we all love to have you with us throughout the Premier League season, and we'll have a number of games broadcasted for you this season, not just from the Premier League as well as Liverpool will come forward. Brandon Birch towards the edge of the penalty area, cleared away by Newcastle as Sula now will charge up and over halfway through the centre circle. To the right hand side, it's Anthony Elanga goes through. Elanga inside the penalty area, 1-0 Newcastle. And that is a counter-attacking goal. And a counter-attacking start for Newcastle United. Fantastic bit of play. And they broke through. And they did absolutely fantastically there to score. And Newcastle, who have opened the scoring this afternoon, and you've got to say that Newcastle, it all came from a Liverpool breakdown after Gravenberch's poor pass through. And that's a fantastic run from Willis Sula, fed in Elanga brilliantly. He's onside, and Alisson can do nothing about that one. And it is Newcastle 1, Liverpool 0 in the Premier League. And if you missed the team news due to technical issues, I'll run you through the lineups again. You can see them on your screens there. But this is how the two sides line up today. Is Onachek in goal for Newcastle, all Towell, the captain, Bondman and Dedic across the back, Miley and Sturt in the midfield, Barnes, Visser and goal scorer Elanga, and Will Asula. For Liverpool is Becker or Alisson in goal, back four from left to right of Kirkes, Van Dijk, the captain, Jacquet and Frimpong, Gravenberch and Szoboszlai in front of them, and then it's Gakpo, Wirtz, Engelbauer behind Alexander Isak, who I can tell you when he got off the team coach, got a lot of stick, did Alexander Isak, from the Newcastle fans, with the way he reacted to wanting to leave Newcastle before his move to Liverpool. But Anthony Elanga is the one who's opened the scoring and got the Newcastle fans up on their feet early on, and it was a wonderful tribute to the late great Kevin Keegan that we had just beforehand as well. Stuart Howell is the referee, incidentally, and hopefully we will have no VAR today, which if we do will be James Bell and Eddie Smart doing that. Konstantin Akinakis and Lee Betts are Howell's assistants, with Tony Harrington the man with the board for fourth official duty. Newcastle against Liverpool in the Premier League is Jeremy Frimpong for Liverpool, who will find Xhaka. Good ball into Ryan Gravenberch, who will look to come forward. Now it's Szoboszlai, just well to find Florian versus Liverpool will try and respond. Frimpong with the ball back in, behind everybody. Newcastle will look to clear. Only as far as Xhaka though, as he will look to come forward again. Florian Wirtz with the ball into the penalty area. It's cleared away. Ball breaks down. Harvey Barnes is there. He commits a foul. Gravenberch is trying to take the ball off him. After his foul on Florian Wirtz, the German was fouled by the Englishman. Shoulder into the back, it looks like, or arm into the back from, and arm into the side of the face as well from Harvey Barnes. And it remains Newcastle 1, Liverpool 0 if you're just joining us here this evening. And thank you very much for tuning in and choosing us here at the commentary for your Sunday afternoon Premier League on TCM Live in this game today. And that is a free kick for Szoboszlai to the penalty, and header is over the top, deflected behind for a corner from the ball into the penalty area. And it's a fantastic ball in. Szoboszlai was in there and it's just cleared away. In the end there, as we watch on in the Premier League, and fantastic start in the Premier League for Newcastle, and they defend well from this corner, which they do through Lewis Hall. Luke Turton is on, says that goal, that's the goal Forest fans are used to seeing Elanga score. We've seen Newcastle seen it from him too. And Luke, sure about Forest yesterday, not able to get past the record signing at Leeds in James Trafford, as Leeds beat Nottingham Forest by a goal to nil yesterday in the Premier League. As they come now, Szoboszlai with the ball into the penalty area, will break away, and it's a good block there from Malik Chow, and Johan Visser lets that ball go out for a throw to Newcastle. Liverpool not to go out for them as we watch this game unfolding. I want to give a big shout out to a good friend of mine who I know said would be listening today, Sophie. Hopefully doing okay, Sophie, and hopefully if Sadie listens back to this, hopefully she's doing well also. Sadie's daughter, as Milos Kerkez is down holding his face, and there was nobody there, struck his face there, and there's a Newcastle player, I believe it was Johan Visser, who was just grabbed hold of the ball and ran away down that far side with the ball. We're just looking at this again. Visser with the ball over the top for Elanga to chase. Elanga does well against Kerkez. Kerkez gets up, falls onto the floor, gets a free kick away. And after nudging the bad man, Kerkez stays up, he falls onto him. And then a knee in the face, it looks like. Accidentally though, as Kerkez was on the floor. But Newcastle lead here by a goal to, and if you can, guys, if you're new around here, please drop us a like on this video. It really does help the channel. And if you're new, please drop us a subscription as well, because that also really helps the channel grow as well, and that's what we want to do here as well. And you can see on your screen there some stats for the game so far, and you really got to say that this has been a positive start from Newcastle. Good response from Liverpool though, but Liverpool yet to lay a marker on the Newcastle goal, as Newcastle will look to try and lay another marker on this Liverpool goal, as Lewis Hall is there well. Does well, does Lewis Hall, holding up the play. Ball in field from Harvey Barnes, his shot is blocked. Ball back out here now, here's Lewis Hall again. And he goes backwards here now to Bombin and back to Ornacek. Inside the Newcastle goal, the new Newcastle #1 this season. Thank you very much for everybody who is tuning in to listen to us. As Ornacek sends that ball long downfield, there's a charge on here. Alison Becker comes out and edges it away. Ball put towards goal. from Visser, who didn't get a clean connection. And he goes out of play for a Liverpool throw ball. A wonderful ball over the top of the game. Alisson headed away, and Visser sliced it. And he put his arms above his head and just looked to the side and looked to the sky as that one there. Here comes Liverpool now with Jeremy Jacquet with possession. For Liverpool into Alexander Isak, who every time he's touching the ball today is getting booed by the Newcastle fans. He's Alexander Isak. There's Gaspar to Kirkes. Now Gravenberch. Gravenberch is being told to go back to Van Dijk, who goes to Jeremy Jacquet inside the centre circle. Through the lines to Florian Wirtz. Wirtz gets it out wide looking for Rio Engamoa, who can't keep the ball in play. And he goes behind there. And with Rio Engamoa, he scored that one goal here last season to win the game for Liverpool. On opening weekend as well. Well, you just look at this goal from Elanga. Wonderful bit of play from Asula. Fed in Elanga well. And this goal on 5 minutes is the difference so far. See there, Newcastle's next game up is against West Brom in the Carabao Cup. West Brom came from behind to beat Burnley earlier on in the Championship. A controversial opener for the Clarets in that game. Then they have Tottenham Hotspur away, Bournemouth at home, Leeds United away, Newcastle, and then Newcastle United at home. Liverpool go to Forest next before Ipswich away will break off there, but Luke's won the ball back quickly. So then it's Fulham, Bournemouth, and then Manchester City for Liverpool in their next few fixtures coming up here. In what has been a very, very good start to proceedings from the Toon Black and White Army, as the fans sing. And Newcastle last season, when conceded, they had the most defeats after scoring first of any team in the Premier League, with just 7 of those. It remains Newcastle 1, Liverpool 0. If you're just tuning into us here this afternoon, or this evening, as Johan Visser is down, clutching his back leg, Johan Visser. And there's Isak, who wins his header well up against the Newcastle back line. Up against Malik Chow there was Johan Visser. And then the ball over the top there from Stoya, trying to pick it out. Anthony Elanga down that right hand side. It remains Newcastle 1, Liverpool 0. If you're just tuning into us here, on the commentary, Russ Vernon getting you through the action tonight. And Newcastle are really giving a good account of themselves so far in this Premier League opener. They've been wanting to start the season off well to get above their close rivals in Sunderland, who fell to a late defeat against Ipswich yesterday in the Premier League opening weekend of fixtures. Manchester United, always up for them, who had newly promoted Hull City, but what a performance from the Tigers. And the Hull City fans yesterday in that game were singing more by the Tigers to Manchester United, and just as they were singing that, an announcement came over the tannoy saying all the trains back from Hull to Manchester had been cancelled. So there was massive roars around the stadium from Hull City fans there, saying you got stuck in Hull over the weekend. To them before they had to go back, probably have to travel back today. The Manchester United fans who came by train, because there were no trains back to Manchester yesterday. But here's England for Liverpool. Everton, good win over Crystal Palace for them yesterday in the Premier League. And what about Spurs? Spurs are about to beat Spursy again after losing to Brentford by 3-0 at the G-Tech Community Stadium yesterday as well. And Spurs, no move service has resumed from Spurs, as they love being Spursy, I believe. As is Jeremy Jacquet coming forward now for Liverpool. Good ball out wide to Engamoa. A bit of movement here now. Ball into the penalty area, too high for Alexander Isak, who has retrieved the ball up against number Omar Dedic, who wears number 37. Ball into the penalty from Liverpool. This for Florian Wirtz, save by Olczyk. A fantastic stop. There's a push out and away to safety there. Brilliant bit of play from Liverpool. Good ball into the penalty area. Work for Florian Wirtz and Olczyk. Good fingertip save round the post. It's saver and keep Newcastle into the lead, and that's what he's been doing all through pre-season there. It remains Newcastle 1, Liverpool 0. In the Premier League, Olczyk with possession now. Newcastle 1, Liverpool 0. Ball with foot for Virgil van Dijk. Cleared away. Well there, header won by Lewis Miley in the middle of the park. He's alongside Stoyer, who is one of the new recruits for Newcastle this summer, and have done really, really well there. Good afternoon to our good friend Media Radio Jingles and Gaming. Just want to apologise for any technical issues that we had at the start of the programme. We did have a few technical gremlins coming in at the start of the programme today, but we do apologise for that. And the lineups in full again in case anyone missed it to the start. Olczyk in goal for Newcastle, All, Tau, Bowman and Dedic. Miley, Stoyer, Barnes, Visser, Elanga, the goal scorer, and Sula. And then for Liverpool, Allerton in goal. Kerkez, Van Dijk, Xhaka, Frimpong, Bremer, Szoboszlai, Gakpo, Wirtz, Engamoa and Isak. As there's a shot of Milos Kerkez, who first choice Liverpool left back this season, came in and he probably would be first choice under Iriola since he played him when he was at Bournemouth as well before he's moved to Liverpool. You probably think he's going to be featuring in the majority of the games, especially when fit and available, after he was one of those who were very much so in terms of the left back spot in Simicast left last summer, but he seems to be trying to break his way back into this Liverpool side. Simicast, if he can do so, but so far it looks like it's going to be Milos Kerkez, the starter for the Reds this season, under, as I mentioned, his former boss. Iriola is now back his boss again, since Iriola was his boss at Bournemouth before he's moved to Liverpool last season. Liverpool coming forward now, and Kerkez, the aforementioned Kerkez, ball in, cleared away, and Visser all the way back there defending, and Newcastle had everybody back inside the penalty area, and good defensive work there for, in the end, from Newcastle to clear it away, but Newcastle having to get all the way back and defend, and it's not what people would have expected to happen so far. It remains 1-0 to Newcastle. Everyone probably would be expecting a Liverpool victory here today, but as we know, things don't go to plan on opening day. Just ask Manchester United about that one. It's their game yesterday, didn't go to plan as they would have wanted. It remains Newcastle 1, Liverpool 0. You can see Newcastle have had 2 shots, 1 on target, which is the goal. Liverpool 5, 1 on target. Liverpool with more touches in the opposition box. 7 for them, 3 for Newcastle so far in this game. Wonderful bit of play now from Newcastle down that far side. And it was the midfielder Charlotte who got forward, should I say. Wonderful ball in behind there. And he picks it up well into the penalty up against Kirkes. His ball across was blocked. Behind for the corner. We should see Lewis Myler coming to the middle here. Got one ball there, but no one came onto the pitch, so it's been kicked off by Florian Wirtz. So the corner can be taken. Liverpool conceded 20 goals last season, most last season with Bournemouth and Crystal Palace all conceding the same amount. So I wonder if that will continue again this season. Ball into the penalty area, headed away by the number 18 Cody Gakpo. And now with Harvey Barnes, if you can bring it down well, which you can after watching it come over his head. He's been forced back by Jeremy Frimpong, and he does well there to keep all of possession for Newcastle. All ball forward. Will Liverpool give the ball away again? And it goes all the way back to Onachev from Malik Chow. And Newcastle will look to start again here with a bit of play from him as he looks to keep all of possession. Good ball forward, is gone down. The referee says play on. Isak goes down this time. The referee says play on there too. Isak rolling around. The Newcastle fans and happy with him staying down there. He's now just slowly making his way back up, isn't he? Sula turns away, trying to get behind from Mrs. Preston. Sula's in. Shot save by Allison. He can't get to the rebound with Sula. A good bit of play there. And Liverpool almost getting caught out again. Wonderful bit of play from Johan Visser. And this time is Jeremy Jacquet, but can't keep up with Willis Sula. And Sula does well to beat him, and Allison with the block, and then he can't get the reach together, strike on goal there. And it remains 1-0 to Newcastle. Here they come now with Liverpool, this is with Virgil van Dijk across there to Jeremy Jacquet. Now Jeremy Frimpong. And Liverpool in the pre-season matches I saw started well, but then faded away. Looks like they're starting poor and trying to grow into the game this afternoon. He's not made the original jingles in game. He says it's definitely not the best Liverpool start to the new season. And I would have to concur with that. Johan Visser picks up the game's first yellow card, and his first yellow card of the season, for a foul there, which awarded the free kick to Liverpool. So Bosley standing over this. Gakpo comes to speak to him. Virgil van Dijk's having a word with the referee Stuart Adwell about the incident. And it remains 1-0 to Newcastle United. Can only check save this one here is from Dominic Szoboszlai, who can't score from this sort of range. He did last season score from this range. And I wonder if he's going to try and score from this range here today. Dominic Szoboszlai with the free kick. Shot into the wall this time. The wall did his job. I did say he could score from there, so they probably stuck to that from last season and made sure the wall was had enough bodies in there as the ball at the top for Willis Sula to break it up against Jeremy Jacquet and Jeremy Frimpong. All infield to the goal scorer Elanga. Now Harvey Barnes. Barnes can't keep the ball in play after he did a bit of well initially against the boss line, but then ran out of room and couldn't get it anywhere there. But fantastic bit of play again from Newcastle on the break. Just the final bit of ball, let them down there this time. But Liverpool's final ball is also letting them down. Can they do a bit better in the Liverpool as they come forward now with this? I like to cut Gakpo into a penalty area. Gakpo shot is blocked. He'll bring now for Florian Wirtz. How wide it goes to Kirkes. Gakpo is there. And now back into Cody Gakpo, ball into the penalty areas away. It's for Jeremy Frimpong. Edge of the penalty area for Frimpong, cleared away. And now they will come again. Here will Liverpool. Here's the buzz line to the penalty area, cleared away as Liverpool look to try and get a way back into this afternoon. If you're all joining for the first time today, please do us a massive favour. Please drop us a like, drop us a subscribe, and share it out to your friends and family. In this one, as the ball is just cleared away from Anthony Langer, and Liverpool will come again to try and get a equalising goal in this game. And I don't really often say equalising goal in games for Liverpool when I've done their matches before, but one thing I can tell you about, guys, is that when I'm on commentary, very often I don't have a goal score. My last goal score came in the World Cup, Spain against Cape Verde, but after that I didn't have another goal score. So it must be something like games which have goals in them. As well, if you want to check out our social media platform, if you one, you can do so, as we will be posting news on there. Also be posting on the opportunities that we do have to come and join this and grow the game and come and join the team that's ever growing. We have got a game coming up tomorrow for you in the Premier League as well. It's on Craven Cottage. It's Fulham against Chelsea. I'll be presenting that one tomorrow. Join Paul James for coverage on the microphone for that one. So I'm swapping places with Mike. Paul's coming into my seat. I'm also doing the graphic side as well tomorrow for Paul as well. So make sure you join us. That's just Milos Kirkes picks up the yellow card, his first of the season for Liverpool there. Here comes Harvey Barnes, edge of the penalty area, goes down under the challenge there of Jeremy Frimpong, who goes into the referee's notebook as well there. Let's just look at this again. They're saying he got the ball and nowhere near did he get the ball. His legs in front of it. That is definitely a foul. Definitely a free kick there for him. Definitely yellow card as well. It's Newcastle 1, Liverpool 0. If you're just joining us. Thanks to the goal from Anthony Lang on 5 minutes. If you are going to be Liverpool fans, you'll be hoping they get back into this game. And another Liverpool fan, a friend of mine who I chat to online, Neve, I know she's watching this game with some friends. She'll be hoping Liverpool can get back into this game, as will the cousin as well, Kevin. Looks like we'll have a free kick to try and double their advantage right now though. Standing over this one, it's the Sula. Will he strike the striker? He does strike it into the wall, comes back to him. Low shot deflected down off the Saboz's line from the corner. That's good bit of play again from Newcastle on the free kick. Wall did his job and then come back to him. And I don't think he hit it cleanly there, did Wilson. Otherwise, I think it probably could have caused a few more problems, if I'm honest. But that didn't come to fruition. If you're tuning in for the first time today, thank you very much. We do appreciate that. We appreciate everybody taking their time to listen to us here on the commentary club. Make sure you like and subscribe to 11-point channel, as we will bring you even more games than last season. As Liverpool will come away now, down that far side, it's Alexander Isak. Ball towards Jeremy Frimpong from the Newcastle man. Frimpong tries to get it back towards him, and Newcastle do well to defend. Johan Visser will control. Back he goes now to Harvey Barnes. Into Visser again. Bang now to Bombin as they look to cut the hold of possession. I'm going to play this in the end from Newcastle United as they look to keep hold of possession, but they're putting it out for a throw-in. The new signing there, which is stereotypical Malik Chow, who couldn't get there, and then Florian Wirtz ran the ball out of play after a throw-in from Kirkes. Then it remains Newcastle 1, Liverpool 0. If you're just tuning into us here this afternoon, we really do love having you with us here on the commentary hub as we bring you more games than ever before. Man City had to come from behind earlier in their Premier League opener with Aston Villa. Bad day at the office for them and Unai Emery. And it remains 1-0 Newcastle. Israel Ngamoa, who is sold as well to force him backwards to Gravenberch. Gravenberch goes down under the challenge of Lewis Miley, who picks up a yellow card, second one for Newcastle now. Follows Johan Visser into the book, two for Liverpool in Kirkes and Frimpong in terms of yellow cards on this occasion. It remains where it's Newcastle 1, Liverpool 0 in the Premier League. Ball into the penalty area is cleared away to the edge of the penalty area for Kirkes. A bit of movement here, but Kirkes can't keep the ball in play. And that's gone behind for a goal kick if you just for a throw, it looks like, I believe, sorry. There and Matej Yetzler, the new Newcastle United manager, will be very pleased with how his side has started this one. I've got to say, his side have probably given him what he would have wanted in terms of starting games in this game here today. A free kick to Newcastle, fouled by Dominic Szoboszlai, and it remains Newcastle 1, Liverpool 0. If you're just tuning into us here today, Virgil van Dijk with possession for Liverpool as they will try and come back into this game, as so far they have not been the best Liverpool today. They've been the best version of Liverpool, and maybe with a new manager it could take time to get up to speed in terms of the way they want his side to play in the first few games of the season. We see that a lot as the ball into the penalty area is claimed by Onacek, and it remains Newcastle 1, Liverpool 0 in the Premier League. If you're just joining us here today, we do appreciate you spending your valuable time with us, bringing you this game as you choose us to listen to this coverage of this game. Rasulikot wins his side of throwing against Virgil van Dijk there. And Newcastle will look to come forward. And it was Asula who gets there, luckily, for Newcastle. Finds Lewis Hall, who was looking up to go to the World Cup with England last summer. Did a really good breakaway. Here is Lewis Miley now. Forward towards Harvey Barnes, who can't get there. And he goes behind for a goal kick to Liverpool. who I've got to say I was expecting more from Liverpool, if I'm honest, with the way they play. But however, Newcastle, when Liverpool got into their final third, have shut them down and were winning headers against the strikers. Here is Gravenberch trying to have Liverpool change that fact. Out to Kirkes. Inside the penalty from Milos Kirkes. Chips the ball up towards the bottom edge of the box. That's for Gravenberch. We'll play from Gravenberch once more. He now finds Isak back to Frimpong. We'll play this thing up from Jeremy Frimpong. We have to go back to Frimpong again. The first time it does. Flicks on and put behind. Thereby then corner kick to the Reds. I'd be interested to see whether Adoni Rayola's side will get back into this game before half time. Newcastle 1, Liverpool 0. Ball into the penalty, cleared away. He's down for yet another corner. In the closing stages of this first half, and it remains Newcastle 1, Liverpool 0 in the Premier League. So Bosley with the ball in, cleared away well there. He will now come with Florian Wirtz. Good bit of movement here from Florian Wirtz as the ball will find Ornacek, who will claim possession. Here now. Ball is down here and he sends it long downfield. And he's headed away well there, and he breaks now for Visser. Elanga back towards Visser, who's can't get there against Jeremy Frimpong, who clears it away. Elanga again now. Here comes Lewis Hall. And it remains Newcastle 1, Liverpool 0. Ball over the top there now, and it'll come towards Malik Chow to clear away. And he goes out of play for a throw-in, which is taken quickly to Florian Wirtz. Now here's Ryan Gravenberch to Jamie Jacquet now with possession. So ball slide back to Jacquet again. Ball played forward. We're given away by Chow to Gravenberch, whose effort is blocked by Bondman. Dedic charges over there. And Dedic clears it off of Gappo. And it goes behind for a goal kick. So Newcastle United into the final 5 minutes of this first half. And there is the newly appointed Newcastle captain, Dan Burn, who is out injured today. So Malik Chow gets a chance to captain the Black and White Army. Ornacek will take a free kick. He was given us offside, it looks like, in the end. There's the England boss, Thomas Tuchel, watching on. Here now. And it remains Newcastle 1, Liverpool 0. Van Dijk clears it away. And he's put back forward there well. And he's headed away by Jeremy Jacquet to Frimpong, to Face, who just went out of route. Good pressure there from Sturt, who has done well against the Liverpool midfield. The two holding midfielders for Newcastle, Miley and Sturt, have done really, really well today. You can see that here now. And Newcastle have got possession. Back here now with Ornacek to Bomb, and back he goes to the Newcastle number 21, who sends it forward looking for the win of Harvey Barnes. This is a set circle for Gravenberch, who goes down under the challenge of Visser, who's already got a yellow card, and he needs to be careful, he does show on Visser, because that's a silly challenge. He's not going anywhere there, Gravenberch, and if he continues, we could see Newcastle go down to 10 men. Here they come again now with Miley to Newcastle. Centre circle for Elanga, goes down. The referee says free kick to Newcastle. Good bit of play again. And it remains Newcastle 1, Liverpool 0. If you're just tuning into us here today, we will bring you excellent live coverage from the Premier League this season. And we've got another one from the. We've got 3 games. We've had 3 games from the Premier League by tomorrow evening, with Fulham against Chelsea to come tomorrow, with Paul James for that one. Here comes Sven Bondman with possession. Good bit of play from Bondman. Now Miley. Good play into Lewis Hall, who was enforced by Dominic Szoboszlai. That's good pressure there from the Liverpool man. Back to Malik Chow again. And now Ornachek sends it forward. End of the way there by Virgil van Dijk. The ball over the top, looking for Elanga. Visser's there too. Visser up against Kirkes, and Visser does well. Elanga now turns away from Gravenberch. Ball in towards the penalty. Dedic on the overlap. Visser now. Low ball in. Can't find the Sula or Barnes. And it remains Newcastle 1, Liverpool 0 in the Premier League. Good bit of movement in the end there. And it's Newcastle 1, Liverpool 0 if you're just joining us this evening. Ball sent forward and headed away by Malik Chow. Goes down and the referee says play on. And it goes out of play. Whereas the referee's brought him back for a foul. Initially said play on, but there was no advantage. So he's brought him back for the free kick to Liverpool. We've got Dominic Szoboszlai sending over this. You've got the likes of Jamie Jacquet, Gravenberch, Van Dijk, all in around the penalty area. You'd probably expect Frimpong to be in and around there too, or Frimpong's just standing back. There's Gravenberch delivers it into the penalty area. Szoboszlai quickly with the throw in. 1 minute to stoppage time at the end of this first half, and it's the man going down the side of the penalty for Newcastle, which has won them a free kick. Just click. Moving out of his back there is Bondman. Sven Bondman down on the floor. So we have a few extra seconds on this one. And the referee rather brings a to that moment to give a free kick to Newcastle as we come towards the end of this first period, where Newcastle lead by a goal to 0. Ornachek will deliver this goal kick long downfield. The referee may play a few seconds for that free kick they awarded to Bomber, which looks like he's going to do. When would how long for? Maybe 30 seconds or whatever. Is Isak Engamoa. Referee looks at his watch. Just Stuart Howell, and he blows for half time. He played about 20 seconds after the 1 minute that was added on, but the Willisula bit of good play, including Vic and Visser, set up Anthony Elanga, who scored after 5 minutes to give Newcastle a 1-goal lead against Liverpool at St James's Park in Newcastle upon Tyne, half time in the Premier League. Newcastle 1, Liverpool 0. Join me again in 15 minutes or so time for the start of the second half, as I just hand myself back now to my cornerman.
Thank you very much, Russ, and a great coverage of the first half as well. Newcastle leading Liverpool by Anthony Alanga's goal to 0 after 5 minutes, as Russ just mentioned there. Of course, want to apologise for the technical issues that we had at the start of the programme as well, and that we may have had throughout the stream there. And we're trying to do as much as we can and do the best we can to get through them. And hopefully it's sounding a lot clearer and a lot better now at the start of the stream. But of course, throughout that time, there was a minute's applause in memory of the late Kevin Keegan, who passed away last year, back in July of last year. And of course, we want to apologise for anyone that was wanting to be a part of that. Because that was not really the best of timing. Of course, as I was mentioning throughout that part of the stream as well, Kevin Keegan himself had a fantastic career that spun across from 1968 to 1985 with Scunthorpe United, Liverpool, Hamburg, Southampton, Newcastle, and then at Blacktown City, where he had his playing career. Also was spent 10 years with England as well. He was manager of Newcastle, Fulham, England, Manchester City and Newcastle between 1992 and 2008. And there was a very touching tribute from the Newcastle fans. And there's also been something in the programme as well, I believe, regarding Kevin Keegan and how much he was loved by everyone associated with Newcastle Football Club. And everyone associated with Liverpool Football Club as well were also involved in that. And of course, we want to pass on our condolences to all of Kevin's family and friends as well, who of course lost such a fantastic, not just club manager or person, but family member of theirs. And it was a lot of Newcastle players there, including Shola Amiobi, Sir Kelly Dalglish was there, Ian Rush was also there as well, Jackie Hislop, Les Ferdinand and of course Alan Shearer were also passing on their tributes to the ex-Newcastle boss. But in the meantime, we're just going to run you through a few scores from earlier today from the Premier League, and we'll go through some other division scores as well and let you know everything that's happened. In the early game, it was West Brom 3, Burnley 1 in the Championship. In the Premier League, it was Brighton 4, Aston Villa 0, so convincing win there for Brighton and Hove Albion. And Manchester City won with a late goal, in fact 2 late goals from Mark Gahey and Carvalho in the 84th and 90 plus 1 minutes of second half injury time against Bournemouth. Let's come from behind to beat them. Earlier on this weekend in the Premier League, we started off on Friday with the game that was here on the Commentary Hub, which was Arsenal's 3-0 victory over Coventry. Hull were victorious over Manchester United by 2-0. Everton 2-0 winners over Crystal Palace. Ipswich started off their time back in the Premier League with a 2-1 victory over Sunderland. There was a victory for Leeds by 0-0 at Nottingham Forest. Brentford were also victorious as well. They won 3-0 over Tottenham and also missed a penalty as well. So they were lucky that was only 3 in fairness, Tottenham, and a lot of work to do for them despite all of the signings that were made. Just go to some of the other scores from other leagues today as well. In the Spanish League, it's currently Atletico Madrid 0, Villarreal 0 after 58 minutes, for anyone that's interested in that one. And I definitely need to go through all the rest of the other leagues at this moment in time. But of course, in this game it's Newcastle 1, Liverpool 0. And it's been quite a surprise, really, that Newcastle were leading this game in the manner that they are. We're showing a few chances here. There's a chance there for Newcastle early on. This is the one where Elanga scored, in fact, counter attack. It's a great through ball, and Anthony Elanga just tucks it past Alisson there. And that's where it's very important to counter attack sometimes. A lovely finish of the grass sweep. They swept to the bottom corner. But yeah, we'll take a short break now, but because we're still waiting for Russ to return. It's Newcastle 1, Liverpool 0, and we'll be back ever so shortly with the second half. Hi everyone, and welcome back to the Commentary Hub's coverage of Newcastle against Liverpool here from the first round of the Premier League, where Anthony Elanga's goal is the difference. We'll go to match commentator Russ Vernon. And Russ, what's your take on that game so far? And Newcastle deserving of the lead, or do you think Newcastle are a little bit fortunate potentially?
I think, Mike, when you look at it, to be honest, Newcastle have played well. They have took the goal well. Anthony Elanga, fantastic finish from him, and he really took it well. Really good play from Visser initially to get away after a good bit of defending from a set piece from Liverpool. But Liverpool have got caught out from set pieces, and when you look at it, the set pieces normally last season for Liverpool, they weren't the issue, and I feel like it's something to do with the way Raiola set his team up. And I think Liverpool have had some chances of their own to get back into the game, but failed to take them. So I'm wondering whether Newcastle can capitalise on that in the second half, or whether Liverpool surely can't have two bad halves of football.
No, when you're a Liverpool fan, I'm sure they'll be looking at this and hoping that the second half is a lot better for them than the first. When you look at the two benches, if you're Areola, what kind of changes might you be looking at making?
Well, if you look at Areola, the only real ones that you can really come to who have got any excuse of playing in a top league on the bench is probably fetching McAllister on to try and get a foothold in midfield. So I think Newcastle are winning that battle so far. When you look at Trey, and then you look at Trey Nione, who's done well in pre-season, maybe look to throw him on, and also maybe look to bring in Ronald Araujo as well, back to maybe solidify the defence there, in my opinion, as it looks like the teams are back ready to get underway in the second half, Mike.
Okay, so we'll go to Russ for the second half then, as the two teams are out now, and it looks like Newcastle are going to be getting us underway any second as well from this second period.
Thank you, Mike, as we are back underway now as Newcastle go play backwards and then try to go forward, but Liverpool have cut it down. No changes, it looks like, to either side of Skirkheads. Charges forward for Liverpool. I'll give you the two sides again in just a second or two. Here comes Liverpool now with Cody Gakpo, edge of the penalty area. Turns away. Back he goes towards Ryan Gravenberch. Could be the play this from Liverpool inside the second half. Can't get any worse. Gakpo with the ball across, deflected behind for a corner. Good start from Liverpool. So the two sides are as they were in the first half. No changes. And we'll run you through this after this. Run you through them after this corner kick here. And it's Liverpool who have the first corner of the second half. Gakpo's in there. So Bosland's come across to take it from the defensive midfield position. So Bosland with the ball into the penalty area, up and away from Malik Chow. Goes a back post. Lewis Miley gets it to him as far as Kirkhead's edge of the penalty area. He shot his ball by Harvey Barnes, who now charges away. A wonderful bit of break here. He's got a Sula one side, Elanga the other, who's already got a goal today. Elanga inside the penalty area now, trying to pick out Harvey Barnes, and that's a poor pass. And Florian Wirtz can charge away again for Liverpool. We will give you the two side lineups again as soon as the break in play happens. Here's Rio Engamoa, who, as I said earlier on, scored a winner on this pitch last season for Liverpool in what was a enthralling encounter. Lewis Hall is there to bring the ball away from Newcastle. Finds Anthony Elanga, who's across on that left hand side. Did start on the right of Anthony Elanga. He goes back now to Malik Chow, who finds Dedic, who looks to come forward over halfway down this right hand side, up against the Bosland, but he plays it infield well to Johan Visser. He's got the Sula one side. He feeds in Willis Sula, too far across for Willis Sula. He has to do a bit extra work there with Sula to get the possession. Ball into the edge of the penalty. She comes back out. Shot just over the top of the crossbar there from Lewis Miley. And he really needs to do much, much better there in the end. Let's run you through the side set as we watch this almost an equaliser for Liverpool at the start of the second half. On the checking goal for Newcastle. All Bowman, Chow, the captain, and Dedic. Miley and Sterling in the midfield. with Barnes, Visser and Alanga behind Will Cooler. And Liverpool then, Alisson in goal, Frimpong, Jackie, Van Dijk the captain and Kirkes from right to left for them. So Boslang, Gravenberch in the midfield defensive roles. The three attacking midfielders is Engelmauer, Verse and Gakpo, and Alexander Isak. And Liverpool will be vulnerable defensively there as they will now try and come away with possession. A bit of movement here now, and I just want to briefly, as the ball's out of play for a play, not missing anything at this moment in time, just want to touch on the defensive priorities for Liverpool in that first half for the goal. And to get caught out from your own corner is something that you're taught at school not to do and start out when you're growing up as well, to make sure you cut those out, make sure you have enough bodies back to deal with it rather than send the majority of the players up, which is what Liverpool did, and only had two players back in Kirkes and Frimpong, and looks like three players also, like 3 against 2 for the Newcastle goal. Here's Kirkes down the other end for Liverpool though, as they try to respond in this second half and try and give Iriola a first, either a point or a win of the season, as Gravenberch looks like he has won the ball fairly against Johan Visser, who's gone down holding his back. He's not happy with that challenge by the Liverpool man and was looking across to the referee for some instruction, for a decision to be made. Is Rio Engelmauer back into Szoboszlai. Now Virgil van Dijk again, who can come forward in his pass, looking for Gakpo his port, and the Liverpool Falcon get possession there. And we know Liverpool are in for the market for a new left-sided player. Bradley Barcall has been mentioned, as to his Jakub Minter of Brighton, where Liverpool have had 2 bids rejected for the Brighton man, a £50 million bid and a £60 million bid rejected. It would be interesting to see whether Liverpool do get their man, and a free kick has gone the way, or maybe it's just going to have a throw in, but it's gone the way of Newcastle United rather than Liverpool, who wanted a foul there. And it is a free kick, which Dedic will take. But the referee's signal now, it is a throw in rather than a free kick. Dedic did think it was a throw in there, the number 37 for Newcastle United. Ball down through this, headed away, and is now brought up here by Dominic Szoboszlai, who plays the ball out wide to Jeremy Frimpong, who charges forward. The ball out wide to Engelmauer into the penalty area, and he goes behind for a goal kick here to Newcastle United. And Iriola sat back down with his coaching staff, and him and his coaching staff writing down some important information that they may need to utilise, and if they look to go to their bench. I did touch upon it briefly with Mike. One of the players that can fetch and can have an impact in the forward areas. In my opinion, who's got experience of playing in the Premier League is Trenioni and Alexi McAllister, also with Endo, more of a defensive minded player. McAllister can play that defensive man, but can also play in the number 10 and get forward as well. Be interesting to see where he utilised him. That looks foul throw from Milos Kerkez, but the referee waves play on Isak, can't get there. Where a foul's been given here. Too sure of why a foul's been given there. When you look at Alexander Isak, on the edge of its own box, rest somehow wide. Only 3 touches inside the penalty area so far against his former club, and it's something that is not willing to happen here. It remains Newcastle 1, Liverpool 0. Van Dijk gets it to Florian Wirtz. Wirtz gets it through to Milos Kerkez. Kerkez brings the ball back to Gakpo, edge of the penalty. Got it, Gakpo! Just over the top of the crossbar from the Dutchman. Did well initially to open up his body to get a striker goal and get away from Louis Smiley, who was always going eye wide. And I think he just hit his steward on the back of the head there in the crowd there from Cody Gakpo, which was not which probably some people would have found funny, but not funny for the person that it hit there from the Dutchman's effort. He's now back with Sven Botman, who finds Ornacek, who will look to get this ball forward, and now Malik Chow will help him do that, will he? No, Chow turns his back and finds Ornacek again, who goes across now to Sven Botman on that left-hand side of the back four. I wonder what Botman can do. He brings it over halfway, but gives the ball away to Dominic Szoboszlai, who has to go all the way back to his goalkeeper, Alisson. And Alisson will take a couple of touches with possession and find Virgil van Dijk. But to Florian Wirtz, who will turn. And Wirtz plays a wonderful ball in to Gakpo. Gakpo hauls off the play. Good ball out wide to Frimpong. Low ball in towards, looking for the run of Alexander Isak, who can't get there. And Liverpool will come forward again. What can Liverpool do here with possession? It's Gravenberch. Good ball through to Gakpo. Gakpo into the penalty and shoots into the bottom corner. And Liverpool are back level. From long range, Cody Gakpo fires them back level. And maybe that's what Liverpool needed. 1-1. It all comes in when Szoboszlai plays him back. And then Gravenberch played a wonderful ball through to Gakpo. He just opened up for him. Nothing Ornacek could do here. And there's players backing off him here. Botman backs off him. Ball is backing off him. Go and engage him. Go and close him down. Don't back off. If you back off, it leaves that gap. It leaves him time and space to have a strike at goal, and that's what he's done. And he's brought Liverpool back level. The first goal under Iliola for Liverpool comes from Cody Gakpo, a man who could be on his way out of the club, as Newcastle now make some changes. Steyer is coming off for Ramsey, and Willis Sula is making way. It looks like it's Joe Willock coming on for Willis Sula here, which we'll see, which could potentially see Johan Visser go up front. Steyer and Willock are Steyer and Sula off, with Willock and Ramsey on, as Newcastle will look to try and get their noses back in front. Or will that goal there turn it on its head and Liverpool go on to get the victory, and then Dori Iliola's first game in charge competitively? Here comes Florian Wirtz to find Ryan Gravenberch, who was involved in that equalising goal for Liverpool. Here is Engamoa, twisting one way and then the other. He goes back to Szoboszlai. Now it's Jeremy Frimpong. Engamoa inside the penalty. Rio Engamoa! Shot blocked. Can't find Isak with the rebound. Comes to Gakpo, whose shot is blocked, and Nooks will get the ball clear. Only as far as Virgil van Dijk. Xhaka back to Van Dijk. Across the centre circle to Szoboszlai. Nooks will yet to have a shot on target in the second half. Liverpool have had 1 out of their 5 and have scored from it. Florian Wirtz. Back he goes to Engamoa, edge of the penalty for Isak. He's a forgot, but Gravenberch will shot his block. Gravenberch again, can't find Isak. And now Visser. Hold up the play well, Johan Visser. Good footwork from Johan Visser. Runs through the Liverpool midfield, gets it to the left. Shot comes in. It's into the back of the net, and Joe Willock and Jacob Ramsey has scored. There's Joe Willock after. Joe Willock has scored. The substitute. Newcastle back in the lead. Joe Willock with the Newcastle to restart the lead. And Liverpool are stunned. They weren't level for very long, and they're being picked back. What a game. Yes, fantastic goal from Joe Willock. Look at this from Willisula. Not Willisula. Johan Visser does really, really well. Found Willock outside there. And what a finish. Dispensing to that bottom corner. I mean, look at this from Willock. From just outside the penalty area. Leaves Alistair with no chance. And Liverpool are behind again. It's a pity that the Liverpool goal wasn't scored by their number 7 in a tribute to Kevin Keegan. And it's a pity that Newcastle's number 7 is not involved today. How fitting would that be if the 2 number 7s scored in this game with Keegan wore number 7. And now, here they come now. Newcastle looking to get a third and really kill this game off. Lewis Hall is charging forward. Good ball out wide looking for Harvey Barnes. Picked off by Real Engamoa. Who wins inside a free kick, taken quickly by Sabozla for Gravenberch. The game's really opening up now. Florian Wirtz. Ball forward towards Cody Gappo. He can't get there. What a bit of football this is. Fantastic bit of football. Cleared away. Good bit of movement here now. And now Newcastle can't get the ball back. Liverpool still have it. Florian Wirtz. Into Cody Gappo. Back in towards Wirtz. Comes out to Kirkgate. Into the penalty area left hand side. Gets the ball into the penalty area. Cleared away by Ramsey. Back on this Forest Gappo. Gappo with the effort. Into the crowd behind the goal away to my right hand side. Goal away to my left hand side. And Liverpool returning to the bench. It looks as though Alexi McAllister may be about to come on, I believe. We'll get confirmation shortly of Liverpool changes. So Liverpool may be going to the bench soon. And if one of the players come on, I wonder if they'll make an immediate impact. Like Joe Willock has just done. Newcastle give away a free kick, but they should have had a free kick of their own a few moments ago for a deliberate handball by Jeremy Frimpong. We'll get another look at this in a second, I believe. Let's have a look if we will. So I believe it was from Jeremy Frimpong who deliberate handballed it as Newcastle tried to go way down that left hand side. We're not going to get a look at it. Suppose I get on with the free kick that was rewarded to Liverpool quickly. It's a Langer. Good ball to Willock as the 2 goal scorers combine to find Lewis Hall. Back into the score of the first. And Langer drills it across. Nobody in black and white inside the penalty area. So Milos Kerkez can win this away. I can see McAllister there, and I believe the other one could be McConnell. Youngster James McConnell could be coming on as well in a moment for Liverpool. Here they come now with Florian Wirtz. Kerkez with possession finds Ryan Gravenberch. Good bit of work here now. Lewis Smiley, good work to find Elanga. Good ball down the line from Elanga into Lewis Smiley. Good bit of play here. And now it's found is Wimpong as he's closed down by Harvey Barnes. There was initial pass from Virgil van Dijk out there. And the Newcastle fans are loving this from their team today. Closing down well as Liverpool make a double change here. It's the number 23 Victor Munoz is coming on. Rio Engamoa is coming off here for Liverpool. It looks like he'll be replaced by Victor Munoz. And who's going to come off for Alexi McAllister here? We'll have a look in a second, but it looks as though Engamoa is coming off for Munoz. And Florian Wirtz is off for Alexi McAllister, which is what I mentioned about potentially a few moments ago. So McAllister on for Verts and Munoz on for Engamoa in the two changes as the Argentine and Spaniard come on for the German and Englishman respectively. So just to confirm those changes, Alexis McAllister for Florian Wirtz and Victor Munoz on for Rio Engamoa. There, it looked as though it was James McConnell was getting ready first, but Victor Munoz is getting ready to come on now. He's on instead. James McConnell may get used a little bit later on. And I have got to very shortly be thinking about my player of the match, and it's a tough one to call there as Gakpo goes down. Free kick taken quickly by Liverpool, but the referee has brought it back. Stuart Arwell. Some people who I know call him a different name, because for some of the decisions I go against their sides. And here they come now, Liverpool to try and get any. Isak is robbed of possession. There's a man going down inside the penalty. It's Victor Munoz who's gone down. And the yellow card has been given for a foul on the edge of the penalty. I'm just trying to work out which Newcastle player it was who took that yellow card there for a foul on Alexander Isak. Is it Ben Bondman? He won the. If he's giving it for that foul there on Isak, the ball's been won by Ramsey, and then he catches him on the follow through when he's sliding in. So Ramsey's the one who's picked up the yellow card, and a free kick to Liverpool for the foul on Alexander Isak. Be interesting to see if Liverpool can strike back from this set piece now. So Bosley will take this free kick with two substitutes inside in and around the penalty, and McAllister's on the edge. Munoz on the edge as well. Munoz may make a late run into the penalty area, may hang out for effort to fire one back in if he gets deflected out. He ran into the penalty. Van Dijk's in there and saved by Ornacek, who makes a comfortable stop in the end. And you've got to say, Newcastle have defended some of these set pieces reasonably well today in terms of Liverpool's efforts on goal. Defenders well blocked the efforts as well, but you've got to say that Liverpool have been relatively poor apart from the goal from Gakpo. He's aforementioned Gakpo now inside the penalty. Cody Gakpo can't get a strike, and it took too long to the Dutchman. And Newcastle will now try and come away with possession if they can here, and they want to hurry. Here now, will Liverpool to get forward. And it remains 2-1 to Newcastle's. Visser finds Elanga. Anthony Elanga on this near side. He does well, does Anthony Elanga. He holds up the play well and feeds in Jacob Ramsey, who finds Harvey Barnes, who does well here. A bit of movement. Ramsey out wide to Willock. Willock twisting one way then the other. Back to Ramsey. Ball. Ramsey again. Miley. We'll play this from Liverpool defensively. All Global in Visser. Can't get there. Kept slide by Elanga in the back post. This moves on over here for Newcastle. We'll ball back to Dedic, who signed from Benfica in the summer for Newcastle United. The shot coming in from Elanga, straight down the throat of Alisson. And a decent stop in the end from the Liverpool #1 goalkeeper. And you've really got to do better from that effort there, in my personal opinion. And Liverpool have been poor in front of goal today, but defensively they've been poor too. And this is not something I'm used to saying about Liverpool when I've covered them before. When Newcastle United are leading here by 2-1, all into the penalty area. He's ended up on this first gap at the back post. Comes back to Alexander Isak, whose effort goes high, wide, and not so handsome. And I think his finally just come down inside in the crowd there as well, which one of the fans have just caught. He leaned back a little bit there, Alexander Isak, and if you lean back like he does, he's always going to go over. And some of the crowd were up on their feet when that went over, cheering as their former player put it over the top of the crossbar. Remains Newcastle 2, Liverpool 1 in the Premier League. Even Sunday afternoon. EPL on TCM Live is Newcastle United 2, Liverpool 1. Goes behind for a corner, or as a friend is as Liverpool make a substitution now. It's Jeremy Jack is going to be replaced by Ronald Araujo, who will make his Liverpool debut. The Uruguayan will come on for the Frenchman. And the change in a defender here on say set piece, because there's a class of set pieces and you're told not to change a member of the defence when you're defending a set piece. If you're attacking a set piece, fine. Not when you're defending one who's ball into the penalty. Come on to Ramsey, whose effort just goes wide on the target after a wonderful ball into the penalty area from Joe Willock, which was flapped up by Alisson Becker. And got a punch to the edge of the box and threw back wide. And you've got to say that Newcastle are so much stronger than Liverpool as it stands right now. But Liverpool will try get something there as Newcastle give away a free kick, and then McAllister, I believe it is, has just thrown Joe Willock down to the ground here. And the referee stopped the play to check on Joe Willock. Here now, next live offering for us here this midweek is Monday Night Football. Fulham against Chelsea from Craven Cottage, West London. 8 o'clock kick-off for that one. Make sure you join us tomorrow night for the West London derby. Fulham against Chelsea, who were both in action again on Thursday in the Carabao Cup. And both teams are at home when normally those two teams can't play at home on the same day. But due to them playing on Monday night, the EPL have had to do that for the Carabao Cup, where Chelsea will welcome Luton Town, Stamford Bridge, and Fulham will welcome AFC Wimbledon to Craven Cottage for that one. Be interested to see whether there's any fights in and around London on that day, especially near Fulham, between Fulham and Chelsea fans. Here they come. Now Newcastle to try and get another goal in this game. Here comes Joe Willock, who can't get on end of that ball forward from Lewis Hall. And Lewis Hall bites back at it, and Willock just two. But Barnes can't get there now. Lewis Hall's out of position, so Lewis Miley has spotted that danger and has gone out to our left hand side. Comes back in, comes towards the box for Gapper, edge of the penalty area from Milos. Kick his ball in. Can't find Alexander Isak. Behind for a goal kick. It remains Newcastle 2, Liverpool 1 in the Premier League. As the ball is sent forward. Well down again as Liverpool look to come forward now. It's Szoboszlai. And next to Szoboszlai into the penalty area. Will he line up a strike? He won't. Trying to pick out Gravenberch, but Lewis Hall has cleared it away. Only as far as Alisson and now Arujo will look forward. And I'm surprised the centre backs, normally you don't bring on another centre back till very late on in the game to see the game out. It's Newcastle 2, Liverpool 1. It's now with Gravenberch back to Frimpong, and he has to go all the way back to Alisson, who's almost got closed down by Johan Visser. And Visser had got there first. It could have been a charge away and a clean goal to aim at for Newcastle. Munoz tries to take on Lewis Hall. Has to be helped out by Jeremy Frimpong. Gravenberch, how wide it goes. Edge of the penalty area. Poor ball in the end for Victor Munoz. And it remains Newcastle 2, Liverpool 1 in the Premier League, as Jacob Murphy will be the man to come off for Newcastle here in a moment. As Newcastle will get a substitution prepared. Eisler will be speaking to Jacob Murphy to get him to give him some final instructions as Szoboszlai gets away. A free kick for a foul on Johan Visser. It remains Newcastle 2, Liverpool 1. In the Premier League. And Liverpool making a double change here now. Coming off is Anthony Elanga to be replaced by Jacob Murphy. And also coming off will be, just trying to see who's the other one coming off, is that Lewis Smiley? Let's have a look. It could be Lewis Smiley there. Yes, it is Lewis Smiley, and he's been replaced by Bamba. Alaji Bamba on for his Newcastle United debut. It remains Newcastle 2, Liverpool 1 in the Premier League. If you're just joining us today, thank you very much for doing so as we watch this Premier League encounter unfold. It goes back there now to Hornacek, who goes long downfield, up and over, halfway flicked on, looking for Visser. Claiming for an handball in there, but the flag went up. I think he was for an handball against Sean Visser, so that goal would not have counted. As he have put the ball into the back of the net. And he remains Newcastle 2, Liverpool 1. And I'll be just getting down to the final two for the player of the match. Just need to finalise my decision in a second. Here comes Liverpool in possession with Gravenberch. A bit of movement here from Ryan Gravenberch. How wide goes for Jeremy Frimpong. His ball is blocked. Goes for Munoz. Goes for a ball against Malik Chow. The referee waves it away. And he's got out of play for a throw into Liverpool, which is over there. Just want to have a look at this again from Malik Chow before I send over my man of the matches. That cannot be given as handball. If this is given as handball, then the VAR needs to go to Specsavers. substitution for Liverpool, which will see Ryan Gravenberch come off to be replaced by Lewis Koumas, who wears number 67 for Liverpool. And he goes straight into the mixer. Yeah, a midfielder off, a forward on for Liverpool. And that's something good to see from a team trying to chase the game and get back into it. Newcastle defending well though against Liverpool. There's a man down here, free kick to Liverpool on the edge of the penalty area, 3 yards away from the penalty box. There's Alexis McAllister has gone down and a yellow card has been shown there. I'm not sure which player it is towards. Is it Jacob Murphy? It is. Just a little stamp on him there as we watch this unfold, as it's been a good encounter here at St James's Park today, despite having a few gremlins on the technical side of proceedings. I've enjoyed bringing you this game today, as the player of the match will be sent soon. And Lewis Koumas, who's just come on for Liverpool, is the son of former Wales international Jason Koumas. You may remember his name from the past and what a player Lewis was, what a player Jason was. And if Lewis is anything as good as his dad, he'll be a brilliant player himself. Dominic Szoboszlai will line up this free kick, and then I will send over my player of the match to Paul James. It'll be Szoboszlai's effort, which bounces off the wall, and a ball up into the air from Jacob Murphy. There's a man going to set a penalty, nothing given. And Lewis Koumas is there, he's over the top of the referee, finally blows for a foul inside the penalty area there, and the player of the match is being decided now, and I've managed to get it down to the final one, and that I want to give it to today. So I'm just sending that over right now to Paul as we get ready to give you that in a few moments' time. In probably around about 10 or so minutes' time, we'll give you the player of the match, as the ball is headed away by Arujo. Only there's the number 28 Joe Willock across there, who has helped Newcastle get all the way back to their goalkeeper after playing it backwards, as the one ball put down through. John Visser's there chasing through. Is he offside, John Visser? He is, but he didn't touch the ball. He ran towards him but didn't touch it, so Mr. Pesway's got given us the foul there. It remains Newcastle 2, Liverpool 1. Alisson Becker finds Virgil van Dijk into Dominic Szoboszlai. Back now it goes to Arujo, and now Van Dijk again. Good ball from Virgil van Dijk into Kirkes. Kirkes infield to Cody Gakpo, who has done well. Cody Gakpo today was in the running for the player of the match, but I've opted for somebody else. Go down to my final two, him and then the player I've actually gone for. You'll find out who I've gone for very shortly, as there is some Liverpool fans looking on there. Very glum looks on their faces in their first game under Antonio Raiola. There's been some encouraging moments, but overall not a very good opening day performance, as a free kick being given against Johan Visser. There is a shot of Kenny Dalglish. The Liverpool great. It'll be interesting to see what he has made to this performance, if somebody does speak to him at some point in the next few days about this opening day performance from the Reds. Just for me, it's not been the best for the Reds today. And that's a ball that's gone behind. Munoz can't keep the ball in play, and he will be behind for the goalkeeper. You can see the upcoming matches there on your screen. West Brom, Tottenham away, Bournemouth at home, Leeds away, Hull at home, West Brom at home as well for Newcastle. That's laughing at them. The fixture schedule. And he's also laughing at Liverpool as well. Forest at home, Ipswich away, Fulham at home, Bournemouth away, and then Manchester City at home. And Manchester City started the Enzo Maresca era with a 2-1 win coming from behind to beat Bournemouth earlier on this afternoon in what sounded like a very good game. The Brighton game against Aston Villa, that was a fantastic performance. Brighton could have won by more than just the 4 goals that they beat Aston Villa by in the end today. They had 1 goal disallowed in the second half, but that game was a fantastic encounter. I just want to give a shout out to a good friend of mine, Matty Foster, over at Imagine Not Being Leeds. Him and a few others is doing a charity walk in aid of Andy's Man Club and Leeds Autism Services on the 26th of September, I believe it is. There is, in the description of this video, there's a GoFundMe link if anyone would like to donate some money to 2 great causes. And there's also a link to Matty's channel in the chat this evening as well, to go and show Matty some support and go and grow his channel as well over at Imagine Not Being Leeds. I just said to a friend who passed me on that info last night, I'd give it a mention today during the coverage of this game. Today, it's the ball in from Liverpool to Isak, whose header is comfortably saved by Hornacek. There in goal for Newcastle United. Right then, let's bring you today's player of the match, Lennon. It's been a tough one. As I said, Cody Gakpo got down to my final 2, so I thought he's had a fantastic game for Liverpool. But the man I've gone for is not a goal scorer, which you would think probably normally a goal scorer would get all the plaudits. But I've gone with a different player, and that is Johan Visser of Newcastle United. A fantastic performance from Johan Visser today. He has played well, linked up the play well, created a bit of movement in this game as well, and he's doing really good footwork from him. And he's in through on goalie now. Johan Visser, after the match, going to get a goal. Can't. Fantastic save by Alisson Becker. But he has played well today. Johan Visser led the line well. So today's player of the match, sponsored by Football Live, is Johan Visser. And Muniz down the other end with a shot for Liverpool, blocked by Sven Botman. There. No problem, Sophie. Hope you're enjoying the coverage. I know you said you're back listening to us after you said you fell asleep. So I must have a soothing voice for you to fall asleep listening to our coverage today. Here comes Liverpool with Jeremy Frimpong, who will look to try and come forward. Not the best of results for Burnley, who suffer supports as they fell to defeat to West Brom after going into the lead down at the Hawthorns earlier today. Gakpo with the ball in for Liverpool though in this game, as he's too much on that ball, but he goes behind for a goal kick. Well, big shout out to you, Sophie. Hopefully you're enjoying the coverage, and a big shout out to your daughter as well, Sadie. Hopefully you're both doing fantastically well. You're both doing fantastically well today. Really good to have you listening in today, Sophie, as always. And I know you said you were going to listen, so it really does mean the world, not just to me, but to Mike as well. And make sure you share it out with your friends and your family, and make sure you share it out and get them to share it out with their friends and some of their family members as well. And the friend and those share it out and get more people in, get more people subscribed, get more people listening to coverage here on the Commentary Hub with us today. Thank you very much for listening. And the ball in towards the penalty is, it looks clear as he can't get there though. Good piece of defending from Malik Chow. Hornacek gives him a high five and a pat on the back. The technical gremlins seem to have been resolved now in terms of what we had earlier on in the programme, which is good to see. It is Hornacek who will take this goal kick long downfield as we coming towards the final 2 minutes plus stoppage time in this game, as Liverpool will come forward with a full bit of play with Kumas to Frimpong, who can't take it any further as he's been robbed of possession by Lewis Hall. Newcastle will try and play out from the back and do so with Bomber going long. And sometimes when you try to play out from the back, sometimes you can't do that, so sometimes you have to go long and then reset and then go again, and if you go long, push up. That's what you're normally told to do. But Newcastle have got the ball back again and they're coming forward this time now. Newcastle, here's Joe Willock up against Frimpong, and Willock's already scored today. He's played it in through to Harvey Barnes. Barnes out wide now to Murphy. Jacob Murphy edge of the penalty area. No ball across, no one in a black and white shirt with gambling there, and he's gone out for a throw-in to Liverpool on that far side. And if somebody was gambling there, then the phrase one of my family members said was slide, Charlie Brown, slide. If someone was sliding in there for Newcastle, they would have been scoring a third and put this game to bed. As it is, it's still 2-1 and still game on here as we get to the final 60 seconds plus stoppage time at the end of this game. It's Newcastle 2, Liverpool 1 in the Premier League as the ball is played forward, but Liverpool have got it back with Cody Gakpo now on halfway, loses out, and now here comes Joe Willock. Willock charging towards the edge of the penalty area. Willock inside the penalty area, goes down, the free kick play on. Shot comes in from Harvey Barnes, is blocked. Race to the man of the match up. Johan Visser goes out to play for a throw into Newcastle, and he gets it in the crowd coming on here. And the crowd, I've got to say today, have been absolutely brilliant, because, especially in the memory of Kevin Keegan earlier on, and the atmosphere has been absolutely fantastic. And the referee is writing something down here and coming across to somebody. I think he's just getting a yellow card out to somebody there. I'm not sure who he was as we enter stoppage time here. Johan Visser, 4 shots, 1 assist, 11 duels won, 4 tackles. In there today, our player of the match is into 5 additional minutes at the end of this game. Virgil van Dijk, he's barking out some instructions. Van Dijk was a player who was just picked up a yellow card. Murphy with the long throw, cleared away. And Gakpo now with a chance for Liverpool to break, with Kumas now to get an equaliser. Kumas, edge of the penalty area, left hand side. Inside the penalty, shot is blocked, and it goes behind for a corner kick here in the dying embers, and remains Newcastle 2, Liverpool 1 in the Premier League. Opening our second of 3 live offerings from the Premier League. It will be Dominic Szoboszlai who will deliver a ball into the penalty area, punched clear to the edge of the box. Jeremy Frimpong is there. Frimpong's shot is blocked. Newcastle with Jacob Murphy will hold up the play against Jeremy Frimpong. He can't get away with it there. It looks like the ball is on the field from Jacob Murphy as he ran back onto the field. So they have to get rid of that ball first before the play can re-continue, which they have done. Here's Kirk now inside the centre circle. He's got Szoboszlai out wide and he's found him. He's got Gakpo down the line on this near side of the left. Cody Gakpo attacking down this left hand side. Szoboszlai back to Gakpo again. The full play from Gakpo. Crossing towards the penalty area, cleared away. Back he goes now to Milos Kerkez. And now Szoboszlai into Gakpo again. Down the line, he goes down, does Dedic, and he's won a free kick there, Dedic. Brilliant play from Amar Dedic there, the man who joined from Benfica. And Dedic did well there, arm on the back of his neck, and pulled him down to the ground. And Cody Gakpo there, and the correct call in the end there, as we have played over 2 minutes of the 5 that's been added on here where Newcastle lead Liverpool by 2-1 in the Premier League's Ornacek gets his first yellow card of the season for time wasted. And the Newcastle goalkeeper into the book. Takes a bit too long over that set piece, which would not mind for the Newcastle fans. They'll be happy with that. It took a bit of time over that one. The Liverpool fans won't be. Neither was the referee, incidentally, which I can see why. And I think the correct call there was looking for time wasted. It remains Newcastle 2, Liverpool 1 in the Premier League if you're just tuning into us. It's Gakpo now. Gakpo edge of the penalty area. Chipped into the box, cleared away. Only as far as Arujo. Out wide to Frimpong. Frimpong will look to get the ball into the box, will he? Taking a few touches, Jerry Frimpong. Now goes inside the penalty area himself where he can't be touched. Otherwise, there will be a penalty. Frimpong is keeping hold of possession, but the referee is giving a free kick and he's waving his finger. He's saying no, 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 no all the time as we're into the final minute of the 5 which has been added on here at St James's Park. Without Leslie will be getting off to a winning start as Newcastle will make a substitution here. Our player of the match, Johan Visser, is being replaced by Fabian Schär to see out the closing stages of the game. And the extra defender on there, which means Newcastle may be slightly more defensive now than what they would normally be. But they probably won't mind it at this late stage. Ornacek with the ball long downfield. We've got about 10 seconds plus whatever the referee decides to add on over that. There, the ball is with Alisson into the path of Kirkes. The referee yet to look at his watch as we've played over the 5 minutes, but we'll go to about 5 minutes and 30 due to that substitution at the 30 seconds on. Here comes Munoz, who goes down inside the penalty. The referee who's been told to punch on the spot today. He has! It's a penalty to Liverpool. Roma late to the end in this great fixture. Liverpool have got a penalty foul on Victor Munoz. Let's look at this again. Is there a foul in there? For me, when I look at that one, Munoz just puts his knee into All, who's trying to stand his ground, and then throws him. He makes contact there, Munoz, rather than the other way around. And if Liverpool get a penalty from, if Liverpool's score from this, they've got something that they, for me, based on the balance of play, do not deserve. They've been largely second best today, Liverpool. And the Liverpool bench have just seen something on their monitors that they've got there saying it's not a penalty kick. Virgil van Dijk is speaks to the referee. Malik Chow there too. Gakpo holding the ball. I would imagine VAR would be checking this. I would imagine. I think VAR have checked this and have awarded a penalty. And for me, that is a wrong decision. Newcastle bench up in arms with this one. Will Newcastle concede a late penalty kick here? Jacob Murphy being pushed away. Cody Gakpo having a chat with the referee now. Fair case too, Szoboszlai there. Szoboszlai grabs hold of the ball now. It looks like it's going to be Dominic Szoboszlai who's going to take this for Liverpool and try and get them a point in this game where it's not being deserved. Liverpool have been second best. Can the goalkeeper Lucas Hornacek defend this penalty spot kick here against Dominic Szoboszlai of Liverpool. Szoboszlai waits. There's going to be a short run-up, and normally they miss short run-ups. Will Szoboszlai fall into that category? Hornacek. Szoboszlai looks at the referee. His whistle's blown. Szoboszlai into the roof of the net. It's 2-2. And Liverpool have stole a point here in the 99th minute for what they do not deserve. Dominic Szoboszlai with the winner, well, equaliser, should I say, for Liverpool. It will feel like a winner for the Liverpool fans. It will feel like a defeat for the Newcastle fans and Matthias Schexler. And when I look at this, the goal again, Hornacek went the right way, just too high for him to get to. And Dominic Szoboszlai made no mistake from the spot. And Johnny Raiola clapping there, and he knows his side have got out of jail free with that one. The referee will, I would imagine, blow this, get this game back underway and then blow for full time. It's back underway, it's over back to Hornacek, who boots it long downfield, and there it is, the full time whistle has gone. Fascinating game. Liverpool snatch a point right at the very end of this game through Dominic Szoboszlai's penalty. Newcastle went into the lead in the first half through Anthony Elanga. Liverpool equalised in the second through Cody Gakpo. Newcastle then retook the lead through Joe Willock, and a 99th minute penalty from Dominic Szoboszlai has rescued a point for Liverpool in the Premier League. What a fantastic game of football. Youngest of the player of the match, and a fantastic performance today. With a full-time score in the Premier League, it's Newcastle United 2, Liverpool 2, Mike Horneman.
Thank you very much, Russ. What a game that was as well. What an ending to the game there, as the two new boys on the touchline both shared the spoils. Newcastle 2, Liverpool 2 in this cracker of a game for your Sunday afternoon into your Sunday evening. And Russ, just talk us through the last closing minute or two, really, of that game. Liverpool awarded the penalty, tucked away by Dominic Szoboszlai. If you're Yisler and if you're Newcastle, it's a real kick in the teeth, isn't it?
It is, Mike, yes. And you've got to say the closing stages when Newcastle brought on an extra defender, you'd be thinking, see this game out, see it out at 2-1. Do not let Liverpool back into it. The penalty came, and I've watched it again. And for me, I'm not sure if it's actually a penalty kick. Because for me, when you look at it, and I'm going to look at it again right now, as I'm speaking right now, because for me, I don't think it was a penalty. I think the referee should have. You look at it from the couple of angles I've seen it from, Mike, and looking at it again. Munoz is going into the penalty area. He's put his knee into Lewis Hall and then gone down, and then Lewis Hall has fell on top of him. For me, he's initiated the contact, and he's the one that's committed the foul first, rather than Lewis Hall. So for me, Matthias Schexler and Newcastle can feel very hard done by with that award of the penalty kick for Liverpool late on.
And just talk about Newcastle in general over the summer. They lost some key players. They lost Anthony Gordon to Barcelona. Tonali obviously moved on to Tottenham Hotspur. The captain Bruno Guimaraes also moved on to Arsenal. So it's real upheaval really at Newcastle throughout the summer. And when they look back on this game, when they look back after analysing it, do you think this might be a valuable point, or do you think they'll still look back on it over the next few days with frustration of 2 points thrown away?
I think probably look at 2 points thrown away. And you mentioned a few key players there, left like Tonali and Bruno Guimaraes, Anthony Gordon. But one key player I think they missed today, and it's not because he's left the club, that's because he's injured and wasn't in the squad today. That's their newly appointed captain, Dan Burn. For me, if Dan Burn were playing there, some of the first goal may not have happened for Liverpool, because I think he would have gone out closer to Cody Gakpo and close him down and prevent him from having a strike from that distance, which Malik Chow and Sven Botman didn't get out quick enough. And then when you look at the penalty incident, I don't feel like all would have had to do that challenge, because for me, Botman didn't come around quick enough to help him out, whereas Dan Burn, he would have been there ready to mop it up, and all would have known to leave it for Dan Burn to come and mop up in that sort of situation. Whereas in this one, he wasn't sure if Botman was going to be there to come and help him, or because Botman was looking behind him rather than looking at what's happening in front of him. So for me, I think they missed the key players, as you said, moved on, but I think they missed Dan Burn's presence today. And when you look at the players that they did lose, Mike, Bruno Guimaraes, big influential player, the captain of the club, I think he's going to be a big miss for Newcastle. He was a big physical presence in that midfield area where he likes to play and help him dominate that midfield battle. Tonali the same. So those two key players as well. And Gordon, he, for me, offered a lot more than Harvey Barnes to this Newcastle side. I'm still trying to work out how Harvey Barnes fits into Newcastle United. I don't think he's that type of player for a club of Newcastle size. I think he should be at a lower end table in the Premier League rather than someone Newcastle who have got aspirations to finish top half in between the European places and 10th. Whereas for me, Barnes is not a player who can go into a team of a quality team like that. For me, he's more of a player who would still stay for me to like an Everton or a Crystal Palace type club. In Harvey Barnes, I think they missed the quality that Gordon would bring on that side. But then when Joe Willock come on and played on that side and Barnes moved centrally, I think that worked a little bit more better for them when they had two players centrally in Barnes and Visser. So maybe Barnes is better suited for a Newcastle type side as a number 10 rather than now winger, in my opinion. So I think they missed a few key players, as you mentioned, Mike. One of the one that you didn't mention was Dan Burn, who I also think they missed today as well.
Yeah, I have to agree that Dan Burn was a big miss, especially if you're looking to defend on the lead. Just touch on Liverpool as well, ever so briefly, coming back from a goal down and then coming back from 2-1 down as well. So Iriola's side certainly showing some fight early on here in the opening game of the Premier League season.
They have, Mike, yes, and that's what his Bournemouth side were used to do as well, Mike. We saw last season under Iriola, Bournemouth were down, losing 1-0, losing 2-1 in closing stages, and come back and get points. I recall the game last season where Iriola's Bournemouth went down, losing 2-1 in the dying embers of a game, and they came back and stole a point in the last minute. And that's what Liverpool have done here today. For me, I don't know if you agree, Mike, or any of our listeners agree, Iriola's side have a mentality of never say die. They will go right through to the last minute, whoever they play, whether they play against Man City, whether they play against Newcastle, whether they play against Arsenal, Chelsea, Liverpool last season with Bournemouth as well. So they always go down to the last minute. They always play to the final whistle. And that's what you saw today from Liverpool. They played to the final whistle. Yes, at times it wasn't pretty. And for me, I don't think they deserved anything out of the game. But you've got to credit their never say die attitude, which is what got Liverpool the point here today against Newcastle United.
Yeah, I have to agree with that. And before we tell you what we've got coming up tomorrow, we're just going to briefly run you through the scores from the Premier League across the weekend, starting with Friday with Arsenal 3, Coventry City 0. On Saturday lunchtime, it was Hull City 2, Manchester United 0. So victory for Hull City and their return to the Premier League. Everton 2, Crystal Palace 0. Ipswich 2, Sunderland 1. So victory for Ipswich as well on their return to the top flight. Nottingham Forest 0, Leeds 1, and Brentford 3, Tottenham Hotspur 0. That was across Saturday. On Sunday, so today, Brighton were victorious by 4 goals to 0 over Aston Villa. Manchester City victorious by 2 goals to 1 over Bournemouth. And we've just had Newcastle 2, Liverpool 2. So the Premier League table after one game, Brighton sit top of the league. And then second is Arsenal, then Brentford in third. Then it's Everton, Hull and Ipswich that make up the top 6. Manchester City in 7th. And the bottom 3 are currently Coventry City, Tottenham and Aston Villa. But there's still one more game from this round of fixtures to be played. And that is coming up tomorrow with Paul James. And Paul's going to be covering Fulham against Chelsea, the West London derby, here on the Commentary Hub. So do tune into that one and do give him a listen. But in the meantime, I want to say thank you very much for everyone that's tuned in this afternoon, this evening, this morning, depending where you tuned into us from in the world. And we're going to call it there as Newcastle and Liverpool played out a 2-2 draw in what was a very fitting game for Kevin Keegan. It was a lovely bit of sentiment before the game where both teams joined in together to pay their respects to a former great of the game. And the football on show certainly done him justice as well. Newcastle 2, Liverpool 2. Come and join us tomorrow for Fulham against Chelsea in the West London derby from Craven Cottage. We kick off at 8 o'clock. We'll be live on air from just about 10 to 8 here in the UK. But from St James's Park, it finished Newcastle 2, Liverpool 2. Come and join us again tomorrow here on the TC Hub. Thank you for listening and enjoy the rest of your Sunday evening.